I'm Danton Supple. I'm a producer and mixer based in London. I've been in studios for nearly 40 years now. It's gone by quickly. I mean, it is difficult to choose a favourite song or a song that meant the most because they mean things for different reasons. There can be memories of fantastic sessions. It can be a song that you just particularly loved, or it can be the success of that song, which is a different kind of measure. So I've been fortunate enough to work on songs that have been very successful. So there's that. It's great to see songs in the charts and have good figures. But also just to see songs get exposure with certain artists has also been great. And songs which are right for their time. There was a song called Miss Sarajevo by U2, which was just very poignant because of what was going on in the world at the time. There were songs from Coldplay. There's a song Speed of Sound, which just hearing it being played out of every market stall radio in Portobello, where I live, was a great privilege. But there's a lot of songs. There were songs with Patti Smith, but there's also songs with unknown artists. I say unknown on a greater scale, which have meant a lot over the years. Well, over that period of time, the artists I've worked with over that period of time have obviously been pretty diverse, many years, covering pretty much all genres over time, going back to pop acts and dance acts in the 80s, indie bands in the 90s, the general mix we have nowadays, lots of solo artists now, solo singers, male and female, country, rock, pop. It's the diversity that's made it really fun. But going back to artists, I used to be with the Pet Shop Boys quite a lot, with a number of albums back in the 80s, and I was fortunate enough to work with artists like Morrissey and U2, Coldplay, Patti Smith going into a different genre. So, and then lots of interesting younger and newer bands in between, but they're some of the better known bands. I notice now with the algorithms of online, it tells you how many projects you've done. So suddenly you get asked what you've done and you can't remember. But that Muso AI told me I'd done 1,600 songs recently, or 1,550, I think it was, something around there. So there's various artists over the years. I was introduced to Confetti by John Meredith, and then I looked into it. I've been fortunate enough to speak at a few colleges, and just looking at Confetti, it looks incredible. I've now been around the premises and around bits of the college, and the studios are amazing. Probably better than what's out there commercially these days. It was nice to actually walk back into some proper live rooms with a well set up control room, because sadly a lot of them have disappeared. But that was the introduction, and it just feels like a really good space. I think a lot of what you do that makes you successful in a studio environment is how you interact with other people, learning to get the best out of people. You have to be a bit chameleon-like. You deal with every artist in a different way. And one of the things you learn early on in projects is how each person, how you relate to each person in a way that's best to get the best performances out of those people. So it's about just being a good communicator a lot of the time. I hear Confetti are opening a new campus in Whitechapel in London, which is going to be an excellent location for any college, especially in the arts. I mean, I am a Londoner, so it's I'm always going to recommend that. But London is a great place to be. There's so much diversity. There's so many opportunities to go out and see live music. Not as many studios as there used to be, but there's a lot of really great venues. Where the college is a really excellent part of town. I started in that part of town, and it really wasn't excellent in those days. It's had such an amazing boom over the last 30 years that part of East London has become a really sort of very established creative hub now. So if you're going to be a student in town, it seems like an ideal location for it.